So let's talk about the AI landscape today. Because if you're following the latest Nexon AI newsletter, you know it's not just one singular wave of change. It's more like a powerful, simultaneous push on three different fronts. We're going to break down how the industry is rocketing forward in partnerships, capabilities, and governance, all at the exact same time. Okay, let's just zero in on this for a second. This one sentence from the newsletter, it just hits the nail on the head, right? This isn't just about technology getting a little bit better. It's a fundamental shift in what we think is possible, and it's totally challenging our old ideas about what it means to be a professional. We're going to unpack exactly what that feels like. So how are we going to break this all down? Well, we've got 5 key areas we'll walk through. We're going to start with the big picture, this multi-front advance. Then we'll dive right into the boom in collaborations and the insane new capabilities we're seeing. After that, we'll look at the race to build guardrails. And finally, we'll tie it all back to how this is changing the real world, right now. All right, first up, the most important thing you've got to understand is that progress in AI, it is not a straight line. It's happening everywhere at once. Just picture a coordinated advance in how AI is being built, the incredible new things it can actually do, and the rules that are being written in real time to try and manage it all. And here they are, those 3 core fronts in a nutshell. First up, you've got these huge strategic partnerships. The industry is teaming up and integrating like never before. Then you have the raw technical power, the capabilities just expanding at a breakneck pace. And finally, all of this creates a global race to build governance and safeguards to keep this whole thing on the rails. So let's dig into that first theme, because it all starts here, with the biggest names in the game joining forces. And we're not just talking about writing checks, we're talking about deep, strategic integration. It's really signaling a whole new era of co-innovation that is completely reshaping industries. And you could not ask for a better example than this landmark deal between Disney and OpenAI. Yeah, we're talking about bringing beloved characters to the Sora video model, which is mind-blowing. But maybe even bigger is that Disney is rolling out ChatGPT Enterprise across the entire company. That's deep. For the entertainment world, this is a clear signal. Generative AI is now a core piece of the creative and the operational pipeline. And what's so fascinating here is that this isn't happening in a bubble. Look at this. At the corporate level, you've got powerhouses like NVIDIA and CoreWeave just smashing processing records. In government, DeepMind is working directly with the UK on national security. And in the VC world, you've got firms like Sequoia pouring money into companies like Serval to automate enterprise IT. It is happening everywhere. So what's fueling this collaboration frenzy? Well, it's something just as dramatic. A jaw-dropping surge in what AI can actually do. And these are not small improvements. AI is now going head-to-head with and sometimes even beating established professional benchmarks. And this forces us to ask a really tough question. For years, the mantra has been human in the loop, combine the best of human oversight with AI tools. But the latest research is making us stop and ask, is that always the best answer anymore? I mean, the data is becoming pretty hard to ignore. We're seeing the studies now where AI tools aren't just helping out lawyers or advertisers, they are flat out outperforming them on very specific tasks. If you're an executive, this has massive implications. It forces a complete rethink of how you build teams and where you deploy your best people to make the biggest impact. And the research is pushing into some wild territory. You've got projects like Visual Act Bench that are testing the absolute limits of what AI can see and do. They're asking, can a model reason and take action just from visual input? Basically trying to mimic a fundamental human skill. And at the exact same time, you've got other studies digging deep into how large language models can take on super complex legal work, like interpreting these dense statutes and contracts. We're talking about optimizing tasks that, until now, have been exclusively for highly trained human experts. Okay, so when you have this kind of explosive growth in power, what happens next? Well, you get an equal and opposite reaction. This urgent global push for safety, for ethics, for control. Because all that power needs guardrails, and everyone is scrambling to build them. In frameworks like the Hiroshima AI process, look, this isn't just about politics. For an investor or an executive, this is a huge deal. It signals a move towards stability and predictability. When you have common standards, it lowers risk and creates a much safer environment for making those big, long-term bets on AI. And it's not just governments, right? The companies themselves are stepping up. Look at OpenAI. They are publicly laying out their entire strategy for cyber resilience, how they assess risk, how they limit misuse, and how they work with the security community to keep making their models safer as they get more powerful. And that push for safety, it's just echoing everywhere. You see it in new professional certifications from groups like the IEEE. You see it in security partnerships like the one between DeepMind and the UK. You even see it in really cutting-edge research, like figuring out how to make an AI unlearn sensitive patient data to protect privacy. Okay, so we've talked strategy, we've talked capabilities, we've talked rules, but what does this all actually look like on the ground? Let's take a look at how these three fronts are coming together to have a tangible, world-changing impact. I mean, check this out. This is a truly landmark moment. El Salvador, working with XAI, has just become the first country on Earth to launch a nationwide AI education program. This is policy and partnership turning directly into national strategy. For other countries and global companies, it's an incredible case study in how to build an AI-ready workforce from the ground up, and fast. And you can see this real-world impact by, well, following the money. Venture capital isn't just funding abstract ideas anymore. The money is flowing into a whole range of super practical applications. We're talking enterprise IT automation, new developer tools, consumer coaching apps, even AI that can help with hardware repair. So here it is, the big takeaway from all of this. These three fronts, partnerships, capabilities, and governance, they are not separate streams. They're all feeding each other. Better partnerships lead to more powerful capabilities, which creates the need for smarter governance, which then creates the stability for even bigger partnerships. It's a powerful, self-accelerating cycle. Which leaves us with one final thought, a really big strategic question for every leader, every investor, every professional out there. As every single piece of this AI ecosystem accelerates together in lockstep, you have to ask yourself, in a world that's moving this fast, is the greatest risk making the wrong move, or is it making no move at all?